Hi, this is Josh Lehrer with Leica Store Miami, and today's featured pre-owned product is a Leica M8.2 digital rangefinder. The first thing you'll notice is that there's a black Leica dot on this camera, not the usual red. In fact, the M8.2 is the first and only production digital rangefinder camera that Leica has made with the black Leica dot. The M8.2 came out in 2008 as the successor to the wildly popular Leica M8, which was their first digital rangefinder. The M8.2 is a polished version of the M8, fixing some of the camera's flaws and also adding features based on user feedback. I'm not going to go into all of the differences here in this video, but a few of the key improvements and changes. Number one, you've got a much quieter shutter on the M8.2. You've also got a sapphire glass LCD cover here, which is basically scratch-proof under normal use. The camera's rangefinder is optimized for 2 meters of focus instead of 0.7 meters. And you've got an auto ISO function built in as well. So the M8.2 is a 10 megapixel CCD digital rangefinder with a 1.3 crop factor. This is known as an APS-H format. You may ask yourself, in 2020, how does a 10 megapixel crop sensor digital rangefinder fit in, and is it still relevant? Now for me, what's interesting about the M8.2 is even at only 10 megapixels, I've seen some 20 by 30 prints from this camera that hold up beautifully. It's a great sensor, especially compared with any of Leica's higher end M lenses. It works great. Also, I've seen some pretty special black and white conversions from this camera as well, sometimes rivaling the first or second version of the M monochrome, depending on who you ask. The M8.2 is a rangefinder. So if you've ever used an M2, an M3, an M6, an M10, you can pick up this camera and pretty much be able to figure it out. One of the nice things about the M8.2 specifically is it's finished in Leica's black paint finish. This is a beautifully lustrous black paint, similar to what they do on the MP, and not a finish we see very much anymore, at least on the standard production cameras. So another thing that helps the M8.2 stand out. They didn't make a lot of these cameras. The M8 was a huge success, and they made a ton of them, and the M9, which came after this, even more so because it was the first full-frame digital M. But the M8.2 sits in a kind of an in-between spot. So it's relatively unusual. You're not gonna see another person carrying one of these around the streets if you're out shooting. So it makes it a little more special and stand out a little bit in the wide pantheon of Leica M cameras, of which there have been many since the 1950s. This particular M8.2, as you can see, is in fantastic shape. It was sent to Leica Camera Customer Care for what's called a CLA, which is essentially a full overhaul to factory standards where it's cleaned and calibrated and pretty much guaranteed to work beautifully, which includes a 1-year warranty in addition to all of the servicing. Really, all you need to do to make this camera work for you is put on a lens, put in a battery and an SD card, and you could shoot. And again, it's a digital rangefinder. It's an M camera. You can use this camera if you're familiar with any digital rangefinder. And if you're not, it's a great way to get into the world of digital M without spending the kind of money you'd have to spend on an M10, an M10P, or even an M240. It sits at a really nice price point, and it still works quite well, still good for large prints, and it's a fun camera to use. It's not as high-tech or as fancy as some of the more modern cameras, but if you've ever shot film, it's certainly quite a bit better than that. And it really is a unique part of Leica's history, and something that I think over the years and the decades will remain as a camera that has a bit of a cult following amongst the Leica enthusiasts of the world. So if you want to check out this Leica M8.2, you can do it on our website at leicastoremiami.com. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos about cool Leica pre-owned products.